Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the XoneBros. This is a special one where we're coming at you remote. We're a day late because we were all traveling. Spicy's somewhere in Mexico at an undisclosed location. George the man is in the bunker. I'm at my home base. How's everyone doing?
Good. I'm good.
Good. Hey, Spicy, how's Mexico?
It's awesome. I am in the middle of nowhere. Thank goodness I have internet here, or I would be scratching. And
yeah, how is the internet? It's good, right? The internet is good, no?
Yeah, it's great here. So it's like
you're coming through. You're 10 out of 10, baby.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm glad. It makes me nervous when I go to these undisclosed locations and I don't have internet because I need my internet.
Yes. Are you guys ready for Diablo Season 1? What are we, a week away? A week and 2 weeks away?
I feel like I can still prepare myself, but my body is essentially ready. It's just my mental game that needs to improve.
Body is essentially ready.
Yeah.
So remember last week we talked and I was complaining. I was on World Tier 2 soloing and Jordan was like, go to World Tier 1 in solo. And I did. And yeah, it made a huge difference. Huge difference. I was able to level up much faster because I could complete the quests faster.
Well, David, okay, that's cool. But for me, I will say I'm about the first playthrough for me is about the journey, not the destination. After that, yeah, I get it. Dial it, get your loot, get whatever you want. But I want it to be difficult. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be challenged.
See, I want to maximize my levels. My limited gameplay.
Okay, well, whatever.
So we heard no news. We actually so we had two options. Everybody listening to this and watching, welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you're here live, we had two options. We were going to do this Wednesday because we were traveling before, and I said, well, no, let's delay till Saturday and we'll do it remotely since we're all traveling. And because the FTC decision should,
we were hoping for that,
and lo and behold, there was no FTC decision. Now, word on the street is from the internet sleuths / know-it-all online experts that think they're experts. But according to them, the longer this verdict is taking means it's probably going to be a no for the FTC and a yes for Xbox.
Well,
don't know if that's wishful thinking.
What I think happened is I think the FTC performed so terribly, the judge feels bad, so she's just like, we'll let them,
like, hey, let's
try. Let's, she probably decided like after argument 3,
let's give you some space. I want to give you guys some space.
She's probably just trying to,
She's a really nice person, and
she's like, they, it was their first day,
they gave it their best. I'm gonna let them, feel good for a little bit.
I think they have it,
Bless their hearts. Bless their hearts.
Yeah, how does that work? Like, the longer it goes on, is that better or worse for the defendant?
It seems everyone online is at least hoping that a no usually takes longer to come up with the reason why, versus a yes is like, yep, injunction granted. Let's move.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, like, if there's like a serial killer on trial, right, and the jury's taking a while, that's usually a good sign for the serial killer. You know what I mean?
It means a hung jury.
I have seen what 12 Good Men. Isn't that the movie where they're all in the room? Yeah, and they just sit there and deliberate.
Like, what do we?
But is the evidence really there? That's the guy you got to be, Jordan. Everybody's in, like, they're all in.
Is it really there?
And then, like, well, is the evidence really there? And that'll make the jury go for weeks.
So what happens if you have a hung jury? Like, what if you just what happens if you have a hung jury?
You're in it. You get off.
Oh,
so what happens?
I actually, of all the movies I've seen, it means a happy ending. So I don't know.
I know you can't be like tried for the same crime twice, right? So
I believe that's called double jeopardy. And Trebek. I think that's double jeopardy.
If you just secretly get one of your friends on because you just need one person to say no, right? Because isn't it like a unanimous thing?
That's got to be some sort of fraud to get your friend on there.
Well, you're already.
Yeah, that's like Joyce trial. They're like, have you guys ever seen? Actually, there's a really good show on Netflix. I mean, it's based off the movie, but Lincoln Lawyer. Really good.
Yeah. Well, I've seen the one with Matthew McConaughey, not the Netflix.
Yeah, but so they spent a lot of time like deciding, like trying to manipulate the jury as favorable as possible, both sides.
Yeah, don't they both have to
Fascinating.
agree on it?
Though they both get so many like vetoes, basically.
Yeah, I know that from that one movie. Another jury movie that was like 2001. I can't remember what it was, but Lex Luthor from the old Batman's is on it. He's the bad guy.
Huh.
Okay, never mind. Well, yeah, but
Gene Hackman?
yes, he's in it. I'll find it. I'm gonna find it because it's breaking my brain. Jury duty. Is it called Jury Duty? No, that's a reality show. I don't know.
Wait, how could there be a reality show about jury duty?
There's a reality show about everything.
Yeah, but isn't jury duty supposed to be like private? Isn't that like why they don't show you on camera, but somehow CNN still finds your face and posts it everywhere?
I bet people in this space are like shaking their heads at us, like, "Oh my gosh!"
These guys don't know what they're talking about.
But I do know that if you get the jury sequestered, that's when they all get like free hotel rooms and food and stuff. So that's what. Yeah, I'll find it.
You know, I've only been. I don't know how they do it like in other countries, but you know, like in America, we have jury duty. I've only gotten one letter like saying that I had to go to jury duty, and it told me to call this number. I called the number, and they told me not to come. They were like, "Oh yeah, we don't need you anymore."
They heard your voice. It's called Runaway Jury. That's the movie that I saw.
We saw your podcast. We actually don't want you.
Yeah, we know how you play City Skylines. You are not what we're looking for.
We heard
I know,
your
it was
take on some stuff.
No, yeah, really. It was like, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago because I got a letter in the mail and it says, "You've been selected for jury duty, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Oh, cool. I get like 3 days off of work and they can't say anything." Because you know how it's like the law, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And then
I've
I
never
called
gotten
the
a letter.
number. I called the number and they're like, "Oh, type in the number on your letter." And I typed in the number and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we don't need you anymore. Thanks." And then it just hung up.
That's
And I was like, "Oh,
that's funny.
yeah."
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed.
Anyway, so we'll see. Hopefully next week. So next week we should be able to talk about it, and we'll know either way. We'll know Activision Blizzard. Is it going through? Is it not? We'll
But
go
how
from there.
can it not though? Like the rest of the world has said, yeah.
Yeah, there's 39 except for the UK. So imagine.
Well, hopefully their FTC
because
has
rumor
their
is
lawyers.
and it does the you know, there is evidence to suggest this, that the CMA did it under influence and pressure from the FTC. It would be hilarious if the FTC loses and the only one that actually denied was the UK CMA after being pressured from the FTC. Hilarious. Hung out to dry.
So that's what really confuses me. The whole world says yes except the CMA, right? What happens? Like,
Oh no, they would.
it-
the
it's an
CMA is
American
it's
company.
being appealed. It's being appealed anyway. So and it
I'm
probably
sure it's being appealed, but what happens if the appeal gets denied? Like
yeah,
what?
like it's an American company. You know what I
oh,
mean?
yeah, they would figure out something. They were already discussing like options a few weeks
What
ago.
would they figure out? Just like we will not buy it in that country, but buy it in the others.
I don't
No,
get
no,
it.
no. So they would, they would just move studios out, or like an offer Game Pass, and then they would have to come through. Apparently, I don't remember what it was, but the offer would have to come through like third-party resellers, basically. So Microsoft would be publishing Call of Duty, but they'd have to partner with a third party in order to release it in the UK.
So what you're saying is they don't actually have to do what they're doing. They're just trying to be nice. They can just loophole all this anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going well. Not if like the US denies it, because that's one of the bigger markets, right? But
Well, at least like they're an American company, and then your home but if your home country, like
They're their home team, right?
yeah,
yeah. Anyways, we'll see next week. Game Pass, in the meanwhile, did increase in price. It only increased by $1 or $2 almost everywhere. That's expected. No big deal on my end. But as a result, this week they're offering the $1 for your first month of Game Pass. So if you've not had Game Pass, you've not experienced, jump on that $1. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic deal. So I thought in honor of Game Pass, we would go through and take a look at the top 10 Game Pass games right now on Game Pass, according to Games Radar, and we could really harshly judge the author of this if it was right or wrong. I've not looked at it. I've not even looked at it. I pulled
so
it up.
You're going in blind too.
I'm going in blind. We're going in blind, baby. So they did the top 25.
Okay, yeah, that's
top 25, but I jumped down to I'm starting at 10, and we'll go 10 to 1 because 25, that's a lot to go through. The top 10's all that matters.
I feel like I should take notes then.
Do you guys have a guess? What would be your number one Game Pass game? Like it just out before we
Forza. I would no, Forza's not like Forza's in between seasons right now. So
yeah, but you could say Horizon 4 or Horizon 5. I mean, you could still say that that's the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, it's like the off season, they're building their team for motorsport to come out. So
Super Shark for him it's GTA, which just got announced for July. Grand Theft Auto 5 is on Game Pass.
Are you serious? Oh, that's a
Is this just like is this Game Pass or like Game Pass Ultimate? So the PC games as well.
You can include the PC games. Yeah, Game Pass Ultimate as well.
Yeah, this is T-Bucks is right in chat. Is this top played or top rated?
Top rated.
Okay.
Like what do you think? What's the creme de la creme of Game Pass?
I'm gonna say Forza. No, I changed my mind just barely. I'm gonna say Microsoft Flight Simulator Series X edition.
Ooh, that's solid. That's solid.
That's what I'm gonna say. Well, can it just be
is that your personal preference though? Or is that just what you think it is?
Win this game. What do you?
I feel like it would all be personal because I don't think they give the numbers on how much they're downloaded. So I think this is all personal.
So Jordan, man, what do you think?
Umbrella that into the entire Microsoft Flight Simulator 20.
Yeah, just say Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's a solid guess. I'm gonna say that's top 3 for sure, but I'm gonna guess number 1. Dang, that's tough.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Age of Empires Remastered.
Oh, is that really that high rated though? Is that a high rated game?
Wait, Age of Empires 3 Remastered or 2?
2.
Okay, yeah, 2.
That's on my. By the way, that's on my list of games to talk about on my show, David.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Age 4, you could do that one too.
Age of Wonders, is that on Game Pass?
Age of Wonders is on Game Pass. No,
that's a good one.
No, I don't think it is.
It's not on Game
Total
Pass.
War's on Game Pass.
Which one? Which Total War?
I think it's one of the Warhammer ones.
Warhammer, yeah. Total War Warhammer is. Yeah.
And I think it's actually the newest Warhammer one. So it's either 2 or 3.
Ooh, okay. We got some guests from the community. Rip City Raider says Fallout. Fallout would be a solid pick there.
Fallout 4 or Fallout 76? Because Fallout 76 had a rough
Super Shocker with the sleeper Guardians of the Galaxy. Solid pick as well.
That was a good one.
Game
in chat, Rip City Raider also says Minecraft. That's probably like the most popular one. I guarantee that one has like numbers.
Minecraft. Yeah, Minecraft's going to be top 10 probably for sure.
But we're talking about rated games though, right?
No, I think it's just
you said rated. I remember.
Let me see.
I can have the recorder read back what you said earlier, and it was rated. That's why I went with Microsoft.
It's just here's what they say. Can't decide what's worth your time. Here's our pick of the best Xbox Game Pass games you should play.
Yeah, so these are just their opinions because Xbox doesn't give Game Pass numbers that we know of.
But we do know like the Metacritic ratings on.
Oh yeah, we know like the Metacritic of all these games.
And that's what I thought. Then that's what I thought we were going for. So, if that's change
because you have so many games and so many genres. Like you have Total War on Game Pass, which is 100% completely different than something like Skyrim or Gears of War. Like you have so much. There's so much diversity on Game Pass.
It's true.
There is, yeah.
Okay, ready?
Like how do you compare those games?
Wait, Jordan, did you pick a game? I'm going to Age.
I don't know. I really don't know how to. I
don't
know how to.
Off the top of your head, instinct. Listen to your gut. Top Game Pass game for you.
Follow your heart.
Is Master Chief Collection on the Game Pass?
Yes, it is.
I think that's like your best value game.
There you go. He's got Master Chief Collection, and let's see.
Yeah, I think that's a better answer than mine. Now that I know that the rating system here has shifted.
You want to redo?
Shifted doing an opinion piece.
You want to redo? I'll give you a mulligan. I'll give you a mulligan.
Okay, yeah. I'll go Forza. I'll do Forza, and then
Which one? 5 or 4?
it's got to be the most
or
recent.
motorsport.
Even though I would argue that 3 is probably the best, because I'm sure 3's still on there, but it has to be the most recent. So
Okay.
I'll do Forza 5, and then
Wait, did you say Forza 3 is the best or Horizon 3 was the best?
Horizon 3 is the best, in my opinion. Horizon 3, isn't that the one? Which was really good. In was it? Mexico?
I actually think 5.
No,
I actually think 5 exit out slightly.
Yeah, Horizon 3 was Australia, right?
Yeah.
Australia.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
4 was London.
4 was Europe, and then 5 is Mexico.
5 is the one in Mexico.
It was
4
the
and 5
UK.
are
It was
pretty
not
close.
Europe. Hey, the UK is not Europe.
Right.
Yeah. The UK, didn't they exit Europe? Didn't they all say like we're out of here?
So, screw Europe. We're out.
Then we're like, yeah, you know what? We voted and we're out, and we're out. We're off the island. No, okay. You know what? I'm throwing it back. I'm going to go Microsoft Flight Simulator because it's so unique. I'll change it.
Okay, here we go.
Final
Are you
answer.
ready? Are you ready? Here we go. We're going to start with number 10. Number 10 is Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Solid. Definitely should be top 10, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Who hasn't played that?
Oh, there you go.
Total War Warhammer. Definitely top 10, in my opinion. May.
And I think they fixed the dragons in this one, because you remember in Total War Warhammer 1, like as soon as you got dragons, the game was over.
Well, because they added the extra dynamic of fear. Like, and everybody's not
afraid of dragons.
Yeah, who's immune to fear?
But see, look, in this one they have flying horses now, so maybe that counters the dragons. I've not played Warhammer 3, but we should. We played it like Warhammer 1 like all night that one night.
Yeah,
until we figured out as soon as you get dragons, it's over.
David was just going for dragons, and then we would just lose.
Hey, I find the loophole.
The loopholes
in magic.
Just in everything. And hero
any problems with the top with 10 and 9 so far?
Well, depending on what the others are, I mean, I like those games.
Yeah, so as of right now, no.
Okay, so far solid. 8, Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Fair enough. That was good.
Damn, that's solid.
Mass Effect. Isn't that the one? Is that the one with 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, that's all of them.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's solid.
Yeah, look at those first 3 games though.
But see, you
look
put
at the value of Game Pass just with those 3 games. Skyrim.
You put that at 8 though. Like, I don't know. I feel like I played through the first 2 games of Mass Effect, and they were really good. So put it like, what's in front of this? Interesting.
Okay. Do you think Mass Effect should have been in top 5? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I think so. I would have bumped it up. Let's see what's at 7. Let's see if 7 changes.
7. Hollow Knight.
Okay, so that I would say that belongs on this list simply because it's different than all the rest, and this list is probably giving people like diversity in great games.
Yeah,
Hollow Knight is a great.
But I agree, it's a great game. I have it on the Switch. I don't know why that's funny. I don't know.
It was a little demeaning.
Yeah.
I know, that was like, it doesn't belong on here because I can play it mobily.
No. I'm thinking like, is that better than Mass Effect?
I would say it's different enough than Mass Effect and good enough to be considered on this specific list of like, you got to understand this list from what David has read is saying, if you want
our favorites, and also these are our favorites.
Our favorites to play for free.
Yes,
on Game Pass.
You're putting them in an order. I'm not saying Hollow Knight doesn't deserve to be on the list. Does it deserve to be number 7?
Does it deserve to be above Mass Effect?
It depends. I'm okay so far. I'm okay so far with this order. I think it's interchangeable. As of right
what was
I would
10?
put Skyrim.
Number 9.
I don't. Warhammer. I think I'd put Hollow Knight in front of Warhammer, but maybe not Skyrim and Mass. I don't know. Let's see the rest of the. Let's see what number 6 is.
Number 6, Deathloop.
Mark played that game. So.
Yeah, I mean it's a.
Spicy played it.
It's a decent game. I don't think it should be above Skyrim. I don't think it should be above Mass Effect. I think it should be.
But you're okay with it being above Hollow Knight?
Actually, Yeah. Well, okay, so that would mean that Hollow Knight needs to be behind those two.
So in fairness, Deathloop was crowned. So this is Games Radar article ranking.
Yeah.
Games Radar. It was Games Radar Game of the Year 2021. So
Deathloop was.
So they have it's
good.
So they have their
game.
preference clearly.
I mean, it's a good game, but is it Mass Effect good? I don't know.
Again, though, irregardless of that, even look at the value already. Hollow Knight, Deathloop, Total War, Skyrim, and Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Huge. And that's only 10 games, or it's 5 games right now. Here we go. Should we see number 5?
Yeah,
first one into the top 5. Yes, agreed. Agreed.
We don't.
Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus.
Wait, what did you say? Sorry, you cut out.
Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus.
Okay.
Would you not see it on the screen? Spicy, you should see it.
I don't have it up.
Oh.
This may get some flack.
Oh no. You say no.
The first Wolfenstein. Like the first remake of the Wolfensteins.
Hey, careful where you step here.
So I'm not talking about like the very first Wolfenstein, but like the first remake, you know what I mean, of Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
I think is far superior.
No, far superior. You could prefer it, but it is not far.
I think the story is much better in the first remake Wolfenstein than Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus.
Dude, no, Wolfenstein 2. When you start, remember, lest you forget, you're a little boy, and it's going back and showing how you become Wolfenstein.
Oh, you know what? You might be right. I might be thinking of the other Wolfenstein. What was the third one?
You're thinking of the one with the 2 girls, with the girls.
Yeah, where you were like his daughters. Yeah, that one was okay. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, I take that back. It deserves to be here. The Youngbloods. That's what I'm talking about. Wolfenstein Youngbloods.
Yes.
That one I barely like. That one it was. Yeah, that one was hard. It was still fun and good, but it wasn't the first 2. That's for sure.
Just remember that.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Scene, and you're in the closet, and you get the crap beat out of you, and then you just shotgun it. Oh, it's so intense.
Okay.
So intense.
Yeah, no, you're right. So I was thinking, I think it's called Youngbloods, right, David? Remember we played it for a while, and
Check could correct us. Check could correct us.
Yeah, because remember it was It just wasn't. It didn't have the same vibe as Wolfenstein 1.
However, the first one was really good. A New Order, Rip City Raider.
When you're storming the beach.
Yeah, Rip City Raider says the Wolfenstein remake is my top 5 favorite games. Agree. I mean, it's really good. The Wolfenstein series, that and Doom, I think, are Bethesda's like jewels at the moment.
Besides...
most recent, like really good games. Prey is up there, I think, as well. All right, so top 5. First one is Wolfenstein 2 on the Game Pass. Number 4, Stardew Valley, baby, on Game Pass.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that one can be in the top 10.
I don't know if I would put it in the top 5, but I think it's
the amount of hours,
the amount of hours you can just pour into this game.
Even I have done 3 plays of only 60 hours each, because I always reach that point where I'm like, I'm just doing chores every time.
Yeah. Well, eventually you can get these little critters that do the chores for you, David. So that's like the end game in that game.
I just need to get to end game.
You just need to get to end game, and then you can just go dungeon crawling.
Okay, and number 3. Oh, Jord the Man, Halo, the Master Chief Collection. Top 3. Just Jord the Man.
Yeah.
On number 1.
I mean, that's just like a value, right?
Dude, we haven't seen Flight Simulator yet. So Flight Simulator needs to be, we have got 2 chances, 2 or 1.
I bet number 1 is Minecraft because of sheer popularity.
Well, and for SEO reasons, because this is an article to try to get, people to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but for SEO, you just need it in the article. So you could be in the top 25. It doesn't need to be. SEO doesn't rank numbers.
I would say some type of Minecraft game is number 1. It may not be Minecraft. It might be like Minecraft Dungeons or something like that.
There's no way Minecraft Dungeons would beat out a lot. I mean, that's a good game, but
not OG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2. Oh, there it is.
Horizon 5.
Forza Horizon 5.
Wait, didn't I No, never mind. I did switch back, but I'll take it. I'll take number. I just want to be one better than Jordan.
So
Well,
if Flight Simulator comes out number 1,
I don't think Flight
then I'll go
Simulator
back
will
to
be
my
number
answer.
one.
then you go back to that. Okay, here we go.
Ooh.
And number 1, yep, there it is. Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft had to be number one.
Minecraft called it. I don't know if I agree with
I don't know if I agree with that top 10. I think my top 5 would be Master Chief Collection, Doom Eternal, Wolfenstein, Forza.
Yeah,
What
dude,
would
well,
be
let's
number
take a
one?
look at
I
that.
don't know. I don't know what would be number one. That would
Let's
be
see what's
hard.
outside the top 10 and see if we'd had any of those. Immortality, didn't play it. I hear good things. Persona 5 Royale. Persona 5 Royale. I know that's a huge game.
Yep, the Persona series.
Inside, no, I don't think I'd put that in the top 10. That seems
Well, that's 13, so that's top 20.
Can I say no, but I'm saying, like, can any of these go in the top 10?
Oh, yeah, be in the top 10.
I will say though, by the way, speaking of Inside, I just got done playing more Planet of Lana. That game. I think that game, as of right now, I like it more than Inside. It's really good.
Yeah.
Really good. They do some cool stuff in there too. Okay, so Inside 13. Oh, here's Spicy's game. It Takes Two, 14.
Hey,
That's a good game. That's a very good game.
Yeah, I watch your replays.
Oh, you do? Yeah. How many times have you watched my replays?
A few times. Okay, 15. There we go. See, that was mine. Well, I was going Age of Empires remake, but Age of Empires 4 makes sense. Absolutely. Oh, Vampire Survivors. I downloaded
that's right.
game,
That
but never
just
played
came.
it, but I heard
That
this game is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that game is really fun. So I played it on Steam. That just came to Game Pass not too long ago. Remember we talked about it like what is it, a month or two ago?
Yeah. I have to say, Ruben R says I prefer the first game, It Takes One, instead of It Takes Two. That's funny. That makes me laugh. I do want to shout out real quick, Rose City Gamer. Thank you for your $10 super chat super sticker. Shout out, baby. Appreciate it. Also, Super Shocker did
the
gift 5 XoneBros memberships. 5 of them. Thank you very much, Super Shocker. Appreciate it. Let's go to 15. 15. Guardians of the Galaxy.
That was a good game because I wasn't expecting anything. So I was like, really, you know how like you're like, yeah, I'll go to the movies today, and you just like pick a movie, and then you're like, that was actually really good.
And it's a really good movie. Yeah.
You're like, whoa. Yeah, that's how I felt with Guardians. I was like,
coming of age.
Hey, yeah. All right.
Life is Strange, baby.
We should get you like the collector's editions of these for your birthday or something.
We should.
Well, I can play them for free on Game Pass. But I guess
I bet you they come with like awesome
statue,
stuff,
like a statue,
like statues of
that'd be a talking piece in my house. Yeah, you want to know about this thing? Why do you have a statue of a teenager?
Oh, dude, this game. Remember this game? 19 Power Wash Simulator. The game is like therapeutic. Like you want therapy. If you're suffering from depression, just play this game.
Mundane, just sit there and spray.
This is not medical advice, but just play this game.
It's not medical.
It's therapeutic.
They start having like little stations at therapy offices of this game.
Power Wash
Simulator.
Super therapeutic. Super therapeutic. Number 20, Sunset Overdrive. Sunset Overdrive.
That was a good game. I mean, I don't think it was like a perfect game. I think it was a good idea, and I liked it. And you can see a lot of
it was the foundation of Spider-Man.
Yeah, like no. When you play Spider-Man, like Insomniac's new games, you can see some of like the inspiration, like with movement and stuff like that. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen them do a second one, because I don't think this was a bad game. I just think it was undermarketed, and I mean, maybe it came out at the wrong time. I don't know. I can't remember what was around it. I think Witcher 3 might have been fairly close to it, but I can't remember. But no, I like this game.
Ruben says I've been tempted to restart my Game Pass primarily for Power Wash Simulator. Dude.
Yeah, it's good, man. Just sit there and
so good. It's therapeutic.
And wash.
Okay, 21. Death Stranding. It's on Game Pass for PC. Very solid.
That's a very unique game.
Yeah. Walking.
And not
We can also
everybody-
call it walking ghost
And
simulator.
not everybody's gonna like it.
Walking fetus on your back simulator.
Well, aren't you just like a UPS delivery guy
Well, you're
in a
like
post-apocalyptic world?
you're like a really super powered UPS.
I'm not gonna lie.
delivery
This
guy.
list
Like,
has made me want to.
actually it's kind of hard to explain. You know, it's just one of those things you got to experience.
Powered UPS delivery guy. Yeah.
This has made me want to
Great leg
Do
strength.
you want to know? Okay, you guys are probably never gonna play. I'm just gonna say this. In that game, you're basically connecting America through the power of mail. Like, if you think about how that game
It's
is,
like a
and like
dystopian,
it's
dystopian
real-
horror
and then-
post.
that's like not a knock on the game. I actually think the game is very like when I was playing it on the PlayStation, because this came out on PlayStation originally, PlayStation 4. Like there was some parts that were kind of you had to. It's not all highs, right? But the game is good and it's very unique. But yeah, you're connecting America through the power of.
You're the
Of
Pony
delivery.
Frickin' Express, is what you
yeah,
are.
it's hard. I mean, there's a lot more to the game that I won't give away, like what the babies do and all this all different stuff. Time, yeah. Anyway, but
Number 22, Alien Isolation. Solid,
never played it.
solid. There it is. Flight Simulator number 23. I would rank that much higher. Much higher.
Well, it is a niche game. Like most
Yeah.
people might not want to fly to
Have
Florida.
fun. Have fun. Is that what you're saying?
Or
Most people don't want to have fun.
Fly transatlantic. Maybe they don't want to do that, but I mean, half the time, like I spent hours. I felt like I was doing all my due diligence in the manual to try to figure out how to run the autopilot because every autopilot is different. The Cessna one's pretty simple and straightforward, but once you get into the bigger leagues, you have to dial some things
Yeah.
in.
Which why can't they just make it simple? Like go here, you know?
I feel like that's what a pilot's job is nowadays. He's just an engineer for the software to just make sure that the autopilot runs correctly. Because I think,
think that's
planes just fly
good or bad?
themselves. What's that?
Is that good or bad?
That we rely on autopilot, or what do you mean?
Well,
think it's
is the
good.
pilot? Well, I guess would it be more
If you
accurate
remo-
to say
you
the pilot
remove-
is there in case something goes wrong?
You remove human error.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm pretty sure, like when we talked about the landing when we went to E3, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure the guy was like, I'm gonna try this on my own. Cracks his knuckles.
Well, when we came, was it coming back, David? I think when we landed in Vegas, there were a couple hard hits.
Oh, there were some hard hits. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they just flipped that autopilot switch off. I think
So
you
maybe
know.
we gotta figure out how to program autopilot to land better.
Well, I think
I don't
maybe
think
they're-
autopilot can land. I think that's where a human has to take over.
Why?
Autopilot lines it up, and then you have to land it.
Yeah, but why? Like, why not just give him the landing? You know what I mean? Like you gave him the
I
rest
don't
of
know,
the
man.
flight.
I don't know. I'm not a pilot. I don't know. Next time you fly, ask the pilot.
I will.
Let him
Actually,
know,
I
hey,
have a little
You
kid.
say, hey,
They're usually
that's how
nicer
you
to you when
do.
you have little kids. They're like, hey, can my kid see your cockpit? Oh, by the way.
yeah, that's true. They are nice, but that would be hilarious. You should say, hey, Mr. Pilot, I'm watching you. I've flown this plane. I have over 1,000 hours logged on this vehicle on Flight Simulator.
well, and half that game is also trying to figure out fuel. If you have like, if you go on like hard mode, you figuring out the fuel for me is so difficult. It's stressful. It is the
yeah, it is.
logistics
It is.
behind like because I
It's-
want to.
I bet you.
Well,
Go
I'm
ahead,
sure
you
like it's
wanna-
all an equation, right? Like it's all math.
Well, yeah, but here's the problem, and I have tried this, and I think I'm just a terrible pilot. That's probably what it is. But you know when you're setting up the fuel and it shows the range of the plane, and
Yeah.
and I think by default this part is like automatically it's just does it for you. But I wanted to, you want the experience, right, Jordan? You want the
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
So it shows the range, and I'm like, oh, I could totally make it to Paris from JFK or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then when I fly it, I like halfway through, I'm out of fuel.
Yeah. I know it has something to do with like your airspeed and like what, like it's just, it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
I-
Spicy.
and
Next time Next time you fly, you should tell the pilot your issue with gas in Flight Simulator. Be like, how do I solve that?
Yeah, what do you do?
What do I need to do?
What's going on here?
Well, and then it doesn't the fuel like it's the weight of the plane too, like the weight of the
adds
plane
more weight.
affects.
Yeah, the
Well,
more
then you can't. You go slower, but you're using more. There's a lot to it.
and the specific altitude puts less drag on the plane.
Do you think
or more? And if you have the engines cranked like 5% too strong when they don't need to be too strong, you get worse gas mileage, a whole bunch of stuff. I just can't figure it out. Why am I only making it halfway and I'm crashing in the Atlantic? I don't understand.
Maybe that's why autopilot exists in real life. That or so it's the pilots like don't doze off, you know?
No,
you know how like when you're driving on the road on the freeway and you doze off and you kind of hit the little bumps on the side. You don't have that in the air. You know what I mean?
Bus drivers don't have autopilot. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Do you think Microsoft should make a bus driver simulator?
I mean, they do have. There is a bus driver simulator, but it's not Microsoft. Who makes it?
Yeah,
dude.
We want Bing Map
simulator company.
Uber should make an Uber simulator.
Uber simulator. Your customer.
Got to make sure your camera's charged and everything. You know,
like, gotta get your ratings up and everything. Min max. Try to min max your fuel versus your tips.
No, yeah. If people listening, if you have figured out the fuel situation in Microsoft Flight Simulator, let me know because I cannot. I'm
and if you're a pilot, if you listen to us and you're a pilot, that'd be really useful.
That would be even better because we actually know.
Then we can log into Flight Simulator with you, and you can just teach us how to fly.
So, Super Shocker says pilots are only in the seat if birds fly in the engines. That's it. That's
really
scary. That's scary.
Is that real?
Well, I mean, that's what happened to Sully.
That is what happened to Sully.
Yeah, the guy's an American hero.
How solid of a name is Sully?
He's a good name. American hero. I guess you're right. Yeah.
Super Shark said, I just want every pilot to be Denzel Washington.
You know what I would do if I was, I don't know who, I think it was like United or American Airlines, whoever Sully worked for. I would have him like stand at the gate as people were getting on. Because if I knew Sully was my pilot, I'm cool. You know,
pilots sometimes
he's got reputation.
I've seen pilots stand there and like acknowledge people as they go on. That's happened.
Yeah, but they're never like famous pilots, you know. Like I don't know these guys.
Like, what do you think? Like Dwayne Johnson? What do you mean famous?
They should make like pilot training cards.
Why is not? Yeah, they should. Why
stats.
Is Sully like Sully should have been the marketing guy? Like they should have used him for your commercial could. Was he United or American? He was one of the two. But it could have been like, hey, I'm Sully and I fly United. Do you want to fly on my plane or those other guys? You know what I mean? I want to fly on his
plane. Like on Mass Effect, this is Commander Shepard, and this is the best store in the galaxy. Like that.
I did such a good job of saving everyone's lives. The government sued me.
Yeah, exactly.
Then they made a movie about it.
I want to fly with. I know that guy's got that plane taken care of.
Yeah.
Super Shocker says it's U.S. Airways.
Yeah, U.S. Airways. I would have used him for commercials. Like, hey, U.S. Airways, you fly with Sully. You Southwest, you fly with some, Joe Blow down the street. Who knows what they're doing in the plane?
He starts making those Captain America videos on the Marvel movies where it's like, hey, kids, like he walks in, hey,
Before we get to our last two in the 25 review, let's do some super chats. Rose City Gamer gifted one XoneBros membership and then dropped a $5 sticker. Thank you very much, Rose City Gamer. Appreciate both of that. He dropped another one that says, Mr. McSpicy, you should turn on the red light. Red light district.
Because you guys are green.
yeah.
I don't have in this room. I don't have really anything here. So yeah.
And then Super Shocker dropped a super chat saying, "Spicy, for the love of God, turn on or for the love of Pete, turn on the green light."
Hey, so
green light. Oh, I don't have it. I'm not in my normal place. I'm in the middle of nowhere with internet.
Thank you for the super chats, guys. Appreciate it. So 24 Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Wait, can we talk about Assassin's Creed real quick?
Yeah, of course.
So I know Mark and I think Barbara Blake, they played a lot of this game, Odyssey, right? I was thinking about Assassin's Creed the other day. Has there the latest Assassin's Creed games, like, has there actually like been an assassin? Like, I feel like all the newer Assassin's Creed games don't really feel like Assassin's Creed games.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And I'm talking about like
OG
1,
Assassin's Creed.
2, 3, and then the Brotherhood and Revelations, and after I would even say Black Flag didn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game. I feel like that's, even though it was fun, I feel like that's when they started to do more of their action type stuff.
They probably saw the data and everybody just sucks at sneaking games. And they're like, yeah, let's just make them, That's probably
Well, that's why I'm kind of excited for this new Mirage one, because they're supposedly going back to the roots, like hiding in the crowd. Like, I actually miss all of that. I mean, I don't know if you can do it in Valhalla, but you remember in Assassin's Creed 1 how you'd like kind of slip in with the monks and you'd walk with them,
Yeah.
I don't think you've been able to do that well, I mean, maybe in Odyssey. I don't know. I didn't play Odyssey that much, but in Valhalla, I don't remember being able to do that.
No,
I don't get me wrong. I think Valhalla was really fun, and if you gave me the choice, I'd go in double axe wielding, guns blazing, because that's what I do. But I think there's something to be said about like an actual like Assassin's Creed 1 and 2, like more sneaky, stealthy games.
No, I mean, you're bringing up a complaint that I've had, and I've mentioned on the podcast for years. It's the fact that the games are now tuned not towards sneaking at all. Valhalla, I think, was the worst case, where you can't even, they have the sneaking tree, and it's pretty much impossible to beat the game if you go a strictly sneaking build.
Because even to raid, you have to like blow your horn to get your guy to come open the door with you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's been a disappointment for me for a long time, because I mean, even in the Far Cry games, it's like a personal challenge. It's not an achievement by any means, but it's a personal challenge to just do every fortress completely stealth. And if I screw up, I'll just relaunch the save from before I even entered, because I like the personal achievement. It just feels good to be a stealth player in a stealth game. And I mean, to be fair, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it lived by its own rules, and it was a very, very fun game because of that.
Would you say that is the furthest outlier Assassin's Creed? Because there was some like, didn't you have a quest where you like slept with the guy's dad and then killed his mom or something like that, and the NPC like freaked out, like he even said, like it was.
Well, and you find that out like later too, and you're like,
you're like, oh yeah, I did do that.
But like you would in Odyssey, you'd Fuzro dog guy right off of a building, and everyone's like, what can you do? That guy died. Whoops, it's just like, hey.
Yeah. Well, I mean, go ahead, Mark.
I was just going to say Assassin's Creed, it's the most recent one we're going to get that looks like they're going back to the OG style, which is how I enjoy Assassin's Creed games the most.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think the newer Assassin's Creeds are necessarily bad for that reason. I mean, I think they are flawed in other ways, like the map and exploration and stuff like that. But one thing I really liked actually about, I think it was the first new one, like the first refresh, Assassin's Creed, where you were in Egypt.
Yeah.
You remember the name of that one? Oh, what was it?
I can find out real quick.
Yeah. Anyway, that one. Like I actually really liked that they did some like mythical stuff. Like you ended up like doing a boss fight against Anubis and stuff like that. Like I liked that, but even in that one, it wasn't Origins. Yeah. It wasn't, I don't know. It didn't have like, thinking about Assassin's Creed, I've just been thinking about the original ones. Like let's just say the first three. And I kind of miss the style of the first three. Like if you can mix in the stealth with the newer game, I guess, because I do think the newer games have more freedom in them. So if you can
freedom, and they have a way more deep RPG system.
Yeah, I mean, but maybe it's the freedom that's taking away from what the original, because the original games were more stealth but less freedom. I don't know.
Basically, they made
for the developer, but
they made action combat kind of sucky and stealth really good. and it's flipped on the new games.
Yeah.
And action combat is really good, and stealth is not nearly as good. So,
well, and maybe it's because you're right. I mean, if you make a stealth game, maybe that cuts out a lot of your audience.
Yeah, it's probably true. But I mean, I personally like this. I like stealth games. I do. I'm about the journey, not the destination. And I just like slowly figuring out where people are going. Okay, that guy's over there. That guy's over there. You know,
when even going back to like Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, it's a stealth game, but you're not overly punished if you get caught.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that's a little bit different from like more of the original Metal Gear Solid games.
Oh, when that exclamation mark went over the guy's head, you're like, damn it. You know?
Yeah. Whereas in this time, I just like shoot him with my sleep dart in the face and then put a balloon on him and send him back to my base and make him my minion. You know? which is fun, right? But it kind of like, I don't know, it takes away a little bit, I guess. Yeah. I'm not saying it's not fun. It is fun, but it takes away from
speaking of Assassin's Creed, right now up on screen, we do have Black Flag. And a week or two ago, we did learn that Ubisoft is remaking Black Flag. And we never talked about it. Thoughts? Good? Bad? Would you go back and play this?
I would, yeah, because I think Black Flag was really fun. Well, and you got to remember, like, I think the reason it was so fun, I do think it was the first game that actually really got away from the sneaking. I mean, I didn't really play the one with Connor. I think that was Assassin's Creed 3, where it takes place in the Revolution. Because I played Assassin's Creed 1, and then there was 2, and then I think there was Revelations and Brotherhood, and that was like the whole Altair and Ezio. And then there was Connor, who I think was number 3, and I didn't play much of that one. But 4, I feel like, is where they just like, look, I mean, you can't get any more I'm not sneaky than what's on screen right now.
Yeah,
I mean, you're literally a pirate. I mean, but that's why I think that's why that one was fun. It was that pirate feel, you know, with an Assassin's Creed skin on it. Would I play this again? Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it was a fun game, but I will say it did take away a lot of what the original games had, and I think this was the first one that really pushed that direction. But I mean,
agreed.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what I would like. So they're saying they're remaking it. Is that like a Final Fantasy VII remake?
Well, ironically, what's hilarious is remember how awesome Skull and Bones was and then never dropped? Ironically, some of the team and studios that was working on Skull and Bones is now working on the Assassin's Creed remake, Black Flag remake.
Well, yeah, but sorry, is it Skull and Bones Assassin's Creed? What does that mean? I guess they just absorbed the team and they're bringing them in. Maybe that influences the game, but if it's a remake, like a Final Fantasy VII remake, I'll definitely play that.
Here's the thing. So Black Flag at the time was a ton of fun, but it was missing something. And I think what that something was, Sea of Thieves had, and then Skull and Bones was trying to do. And so I think it's smart of them to go back. I do think Black Flag was a little bit of a missed opportunity that you could tweak a couple things in a remake, and it would be one of the best Assassin's Creed. It could be one of the best Assassin's Creed of all time, with some tweaks, with some influences from Sea of Thieves, Skull and Bones, stuff like that. So
yeah, like take away the whole Abstergo.
Because the sailing was the funnest part. The minute you got
say to every Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is the minute you got on land, it got much more boring on land. Like the sailing was the funnest part.
Yeah.
Well, also before this game, we didn't have any sailing games or pirate games.
Well, I think that's why this game was so unique, right? So fun because it was different. You were really living out that pirate fantasy. And then in every Assassin's Creed after that, you always had a boat. Even in Odyssey, you have a boat that you have your people row and shoot fire arrow. You know what I mean? Like you always have a boat now.
Yeah.
Well, even in Valhalla, you had a boat. It was a smaller boat, but you had one.
Yeah. So back to the top 25 of the Game Pass, according to Games Radar. 24 was Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and 25 Quantum Break.
Hey,
Quantum
that
Break's
I
a
feel
great
like was
game.
actually a good game. That again, I think just was.
What did it come out in between? I mean,
I
I
don't
played
know.
it. I
I don't
enjoyed
know
it.
if you can. I don't know if you can like blame the marketing because I do remember them marketing it pretty well. Because remember it like followed the TV show as well, and
Well, it was Quantum Break, and what's the one with the girl? What's that one? It's like similar to Quantum Break.
Control. I think that one
Control.
that which is very fun as well. Which
Yeah.
again, you can see like it's actually really fun to like when you follow like some of your favorite developers and like their games, like because
See
they
the
did Alan
influence.
Wake, and then you see Quantum Break, and you're like, okay, you can kind of see like they refined a lot of the gameplay, and then like especially when you go from Quantum Break to Control, you can really see like, okay, like this is what we were getting because Control is very good, and I actually don't know why Control is not on this list. Isn't Control on Game Pass?
It is, yes.
Actually,
I'll tell you what.
I
I'll tell you what's conspicuously missing. Control, I agree with Jordan. Hi-Fi Rush.
well, that's
that
just
is.
came
I,
out, right?
I would put that in the top 10.
yeah,
I would
and
put
it's.
that in. I
I'd
may
say
even
this
put that in the top 5.
Well, when was this article written? Because like Hi-Fi Rush was like
4 days ago.
oh, okay,
Updated
so
4 days
Control
ago.
was on Game Pass, but it left. It looks like in a year ago. Wow,
Oh, okay. 4
that's
days ago. So
unfortunate.
this
Yeah.
was updated 4 days ago.
Okay, yeah. If Control was still on Game Pass, I would put Control over Quantum Break because Control is the better game, but Quantum Break is still fun. Like,
Yeah.
if you were to play Control first, it might. I think you'd still have fun with Quantum Break.
I'll give another one that's missing, I think, conspicuously similar style or in the same genre rather as a Hi-Fi Rush, kind of has an independent feel to it. Psychonauts 2, fantastic game as
Oh
well.
yeah, that was really fun. Action platformer.
That was up for game. Did it win Game of the Year? That was
No,
up.
I think it was nominated. Yeah, it was a lot of people's lists.
Yeah, but who did it go up against? Was it the year it went up against like God of War and Elden Ring? Like no,
And
that's a
Red Dead and
that's
Red
a-
Dead 2.
It was
Also, isn't Red Dead 2 on Game Pass? How is that not in the top list?
let me look it up. Maybe it
Yeah,
left
look.
Game Pass.
Is Red Dead 2 on Game Pass?
It says now available.
It is. It is currently on Game Pass.
It is.
It entered May 7th. And it
2020.
is still there.
Yeah, if it's still there, I mean that was 3 years ago.
Oh, 2020, you're right. My bad. Bad information. Don't you have Game Pass app on your freaking PC right there, Jordan? That you can just look it up.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, fine, I'll pull it up.
so Quantum Break went up against Dark Souls 3. That was around the. That
That's
was the
tough.
same. Yeah, that's the same week basically.
Yeah, that's Hellblade. Yeah, Hellblade's missing from this list. Agreed. T-Bucks, great point. Sea of Thieves is missing from this list. I would put that up there as well. Man, it shows you how many games are on. The value is definitely there. Whether it after the price raising to $2, I don't mind. The value is still there. Do I prefer it? No, I'd prefer it cheaper, obviously.
And it
But
went up against Uncharted 4. That just those were around the same time.
Yeah, I'm not sure Red Dead Redemption is on Game Pass anymore.
not anymore. Never mind. I retract everything I just said.
I mean, I'm looking from the computer, so it's probably not. It's probably only giving me like the PC Game Pass.
I
But
retract everything that I just said. I apologize, everyone.
Thank you for apologizing.
You're right.
I get-
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Spicy. By the way, guys, if you haven't yet, make sure you go check out Know Your Game
Yeah.
by Mr. McSpicy. It is in both in the description of this video as well as if you're listening, it's in the description of in the details of YouTube. This week you did Hogwarts, Spicy.
I did. Did I? And I thought I did more.
it's getting a little close to home there, aren't you?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Hogwarts Legacy, they're just down the road from us.
Oh yeah, with
That's right.
Avalanche. Yeah, Avalanche Studios.
Avalanche
Yeah.
Studios, Salt Lake City, baby.
It's funny.
I didn't know. I
Because
was like,
when
"What
I-
are you trying to say, dude? What do you mean?" Yeah.
You know, it's
Close
actually
to
funny
home
'cause
there.
when I watch their live streams, they're always like, and we have this beautiful view. And I'm like, I've been to that building. That's where I do my taxes. You know, it's because it's just like downtown Salt Lake City. You know?
Yeah. Well, it was super cool because the Avalanche is the one who made Hogwarts, and they're based in Salt Lake City. And it was so what Know Your Game is? It's basically knowing a lot of things about the games and the developer and stuff like that. We go through it. I also did Final Fantasy 16 at the beginning.
That's right. Final Fantasy 16 as well.
Final Fantasy 16 was the beginning of the week, and then Hogwarts Legacy was after that.
Hey,
so.
And I would like to say this. I'm not just saying this because Avalanche is close and we can easily drive there and get a tour of the studio, but I actually think what they did with Hogwarts Legacy, excellent develop. Like that game is so much fun. Excellent developer.
Oh, and it's really
if you are listening, I'm really not too far. I'd love to come see your studio.
No,
What
and
is
Hogwarts was the first game that they fully produced after their acquisition by Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
So they used to be owned by Disney when they did Disney Infinity and stuff like that. So
all that stuff. Yeah.
having this be their first game and having the pressure of having a Harry Potter-esque game blows my mind that they were able to come out and make something as good as they did, because there's Harry Potter fans can be pretty, any
Intense.
diehard fans of any IP, they can be pretty brutal.
No,
So
it was very good. The open world was fun. I think it was just big enough. There was enough to do. Like, it was really fun. And I hope they do DLC and expansions, and eventually I hope they do sequels to like Hogwarts Legacy, because they did a really good job with that first one.
yeah, it's made a lot of money.
I actually I think I might go play it now because it's just slinging magic.
It's just
slinging
it's
magic,
slinging
baby?
Gordon, go watch my
Slinging
video.
magic.
You'll learn a lot from what I did. It's pretty fun. Know your game,
Yeah.
Hogwarts.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. You even covered the review bombs because people are
Oh, yeah.
stupid. People are dumb.
Did you notice my title on the top left too at that section? So I title
I
each
didn't
section,
notice that.
and it's like know the artists, know the music, know the
Know
the
your review
theme.
bombers.
And then on the review bombers is like the frustration, because it like was super frustrating that like I was confused because all the ratings were. I mean, you had like Fujitsu giving 37 out of 40. You had IGN 9 out of 10s, but then you had a lot of low ones, and I was like, that doesn't make any
What?
sense.
Yeah, and they're
Right?
like, this game is amazing, but I don't like J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, and
Who cares?
she
Shut up.
had nothing to do
Review
with
the game. Well, even if she did have something to do with the game. She's the creator of this amazing world. So to all those people out there,
It was really that was a frustrating part of learning about that, though. I guess it's just
it really was.
Why
It's
can't you
like,
just enjoy the game?
and those people review bombing it probably don't even play games. Fools.
Yeah.
Foolish fools.
Well, it's not. What was annoying about it is it had nothing to do with the game. It had everything to do with someone's outside opinion of politics, basically. Like, it had nothing to do with the game.
Yeah,
and that's too bad, because the Avalanche team, I mean, they're cool. They're cool people. Like, looking at all the stuff that they did, because what I do is I go in and I look at the lead designer. We learned that he worked on Van Helsing and stuff like that, and they're like real people, and
Yeah.
Hey, people are real. People are real.
People are real. But that game did excellent as far as like,
Hey,
was it the first couple weeks it made 850 million, and then it's past the $1 billion mark now too. So it did really good.
Well deserved.
That was successful.
Yeah, well deserved. Very good game.
I said, yeah, and people were super upset that it. Well, I guess Twitter was upset that it was successful.
Yeah.
So, but
regardless, well deserved. It's a cool game. And
no,
it's
it is super fun. Like it's they really captured the feel. Like, especially if you've read the books and stuff, like they've really captured the feel of that world.
Yeah, it's very good.
It was funny too, going through like the facts of the game is like, can you make friends in this game? That's one of the greatest questions.
I have to say this, like, it was so nice to have like something of Harry Potter that was awesome after like Cursed Child and the Fantastic Beasts series. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
So,
it's like Star
it was
Wars.
Nice to be like, hey,
wait.
all right,
Hold on. I liked Fantastic Beasts series.
It's probably because you're a muggle.
No, Jude Law is badass. He did a great job. That's a good.
It was okay. It was okay. It was, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say.
And they fit in. They fit in actually with the lore pretty well.
The Fantastic Beasts movies were better than the Cursed Child. I will say that. But
My problem with Cursed
I
Child
don't
is the disrespect shown to Harry Potter by Generation Z.
oh yeah. Well, and what's crazy is like J.K. Rowling approved that.
Yeah, that
It was like, did you read it?
did you read it?
Like, because I can respect, like, I approved it and I got paid a lot of money. Like,
Yeah,
okay, well, I get that, right?
I get it though, Jordan, because like with Star Wars with me, it was so frustrating having bad movie after bad movie after bad movie after a series that I didn't necessarily like, and etc. And then to get Jedi Fallen Order, and having a game like that,
Oh yeah, and you're like, oh,
and it's like,
yes.
oh, finally something good with Star Wars. Thank you. I get
No,
it.
David, you're right. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh on the Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, I think you are.
But do you think the original Harry Potter movies are better than the Fantastic Beasts movies? I would say as a whole, yes. I don't think the Harry Potter movies are perfect.
It depends which one. I actually would really like to see the Harry Potter movies redone.
What's you got your wish? Because isn't HBO doing it? Which, by the way, should we be worried about that?
Worried about what?
No. I think if Amazon was doing it, we should be worried. HBO does a pretty decent, like they knock series out of the park, in my opinion.
Do they though?
Dude, you want to know what would be cool? The writer for Yellowstone. What's his name?
On a Harry Potter year one.
Have him do a Harry Potter series. I would love to
year
see
one
that.
when they're 12.
Yeah.
He's more of a year 7,
Yeah.
He might do that Battle for Hogwarts.
I would love to see how he approaches Harry Potter.
Have a Harry Potter Peaky Blinders style, right?
No. Aren't they making a show and like
Sheridan is his name and he's written, but dude, his writing is
Taylor Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan, yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, isn't I think it's HBO. HBO is making a Harry Potter series, like it's an actual show, and from what I understand, season 1 is book 1, which I think is good because if you do like 10 episodes, maybe, I think 5 to 10 episodes, I think you could cover. I mean, that's perfect. I think Harry Potter, each book fits a show style format very well.
Yeah.
Like one episode could just be Quidditch. That would be awesome.
Dude, Quidditch could get, like intense.
Imagine
I think Quidditch is a flawed game. I'm going to say it's a flawed.
You're a muggle as well.
The snitch flaws it.
It's flawed.
The snitch ends the game and gives you 150 points.
The snitch shouldn't give you so many points. They need to reduce the points. Like baseball got added the pitching clock. Quidditch needs to reduce the points for getting the snitch.
Well, because like theoretically, if a team scores 200 points and the other team only catches the snitch, the other team loses because they only get 150 points for the snitch.
Yeah, 200 points. That is so many goals. That is so many.
Well, yeah, I mean the snitch flies around for a while.
Let's say, how many points does the snitch?
Not if Harry Potter's on the field.
Okay, it gives you like 100.
Yeah, Harry does. He does get it pretty quick.
Let's say the other team dominates and gets 140 points, but then the snitch wins. The team that sucks the most.
Well, then
game.
You blame your seeker. He should have got the snitch before the other seeker.
Yeah, but it makes the rest of the game obsolete. It does, Jordan. Admit it. Every 1 out of 100 games, it doesn't, but 99 out of 100, it does.
I just remember when I played Harry Potter World Cup on the original Xbox on hard mode, it was super hard to catch the snitch, or like when you played on a higher difficulty or I don't know what it was. Some teams were super hard. So as long as I scored more than 150 points, I would win, because then even if I didn't catch the snitch, I'd still win.
So you're proving my point.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Snitch guarantees.
Guys, I think we should go down to the park and play Quidditch with the other guys out there. I actually, you laugh. I think that would be fun. I think Mark and David, I actually think you both would play the same position. I think you'd both be beaters.
Do you think
there are some people at the park that I respect? Like, as I've seen people in full like chainmail going at it with swords. It's like, wow.
But do you think those people are athletic?
No, not at all. That's what makes it wow. Like, I respect that. It's like, wow, they're going at it, and in their head they're like, yeah, I'm a badass.
Anyways, go check it. I did drop.
I think they are.
I did drop the link to Know Your Gaming chat. Everyone make sure you go check it. Also, go check out if you like Xbox news. We're doing daily Xbox news over on X1 the Gamer channel. Just drop that link in there as well. I say what I think over there. There's no hold bars. It's like X1 uncensored over there. So you get X1 censored here because we're a family friendly show. It's X1 uncensored over there. There's no opinion or take I won't respond to.
Sometimes he doesn't even wear clothes.
Sometimes I don't wear. Sometimes I don't wear pants. It's just how
blurred out.
How it is. Just how it is.
If you tag it as educational, you could do that.
Educational.
Yeah.
Rose City Gamer dropped another sticker for us. Huge shout out. Thank you, Rose City Gamer. Appreciate that super chat. That does us for today. What's everybody playing? I'm focusing on Diablo. I got to get to 50 this week. I was out of town. So again, I couldn't play. I'm back, baby. I'm not going anywhere.
So I'm going to go ahead and hijack part of this show. I know it's an Xbox show, but Final Fantasy is blowing my mind. I haven't been able to play it for the last couple of days, but in the early parts of the week, there's a reason I did Final Fantasy on my show at the beginning. It is such a good game. I love that game. And what I like about it, a lot of people I've seen like in Discord and stuff, they're not happy with some of the combat system because it seems so basic. But after hour 10, I don't know how many hours are into it I am, you gain some abilities that make it super interesting to combine and switch and kind of would you agree, Jordan? It like adds a lot.
So you as you go, there's like points in the story where you unlock like a whole new set of abilities.
I don't want to spoil anything.
And you can rotate between those abilities. The only thing I wish they did, and maybe they do, I'm just not noticing it. I wish there was more like elemental damage. Like, for example, this enemy is weak to fire. This enemy is weak to wind. This enemy is weak. You know what I mean? I think that would have made it a little bit more fun. So I think that would be a slight criticism I have of the combat system.
Oh, that's actually a really good point. Right now, it's just damage versus armor. Essentially, and
I think that's how it stays. I don't think like if I were to use my fire abilities compared to my other abilities, I don't think like elements really make a difference. But that would be like one criticism I have. But no, the combat is really fun, and it's kind of funny. I don't. This may be good or bad. It depends on it. They don't have a difficulty. Well, they do, but it's not real. So they have a difficulty setting, but it's not like really a difficulty setting because basically what it does is if you pick story mode, it just gives you equipment earlier, and that equipment, I don't know how to describe it, but
I'll just say
can play the game for you.
Yeah,
I think is that I mean
on a ring, basically, or is it an amulet? I don't know what it is, but it basically plays for you.
It plays the game for you. Like it, I think there's one that auto dodges for you. There's one that lets you have a
auto
companion.
Combos?
You have a companion that can heal you at certain points, right? One does that for you, I think, and then so if you have all of those on, yes, I would agree the combat may in fact be very boring because you're not doing anything. But so I don't know if that's good or bad that they did that. They did that because it's an accessibility thing. Like I mean, I don't know if you want to call it accessibility because I'm a believer of I don't think difficulty is accessibility. But I do think it's an easy mode, right? Like it allows. And I heard a comment. I think one of the reasons they did that is because this is such a different style from the previous Final Fantasies. They didn't want to alienate like old timers, like old fans. So they put these in there so like it wasn't as daunting for them. Those items,
but didn't it still kind of alienate a lot of people are calling this Devil May Clive. Have you heard that?
I think first of all, how dare they? I mean, I hope they're not talking bad about Clive because I'm going to say this. I think Clive, just my opinion. I have played a lot of Final Fantasy games in my time. I don't know if this is my favorite Final Fantasy yet. Got to go all the way through and see how it ends and all that stuff first. So I'll save that, but I will say I think Clive is the best main character in a Final Fantasy game.
He's really awesome. Yeah, he's good.
And I would say Mark did have a good point when I told you this. I think he's better than Cloud, and you said, yeah, but did Cloud really talk that much? Like, to be fair, yeah, he doesn't really.
Cloud
Although he did
is
have
just-
that scene where he was a cross-dresser, which was pretty epic.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, yeah, Cloud is just no nonsense.
So Beast
I-
said it's also gorgeous. He's talking about the combat. And then the clap.
Yeah, like
It is beautiful. I agree. The clap says, without spoiling, I have seen / noticed that using a specific elemental ability pops up a notice on the right-hand side of the screen that says vulnerability.
okay, so maybe there is elemental damage, and I just haven't noticed yet. Because when I was fighting, like, because I'm at the point where I can swap between a few different abilities or sets of abilities, I guess is a better way to describe it. And I haven't noticed yet. So yeah, maybe so that's good. I like that. I like that, and I'll have to look out for that. But
Yeah,
no,
and-
I really do. I do think Clive is, in my opinion, everybody has their own favorite Final Fantasy games, right? And I think that's what's so good about Final Fantasy is because even if you take Final Fantasy VII and then you take like Final Fantasy X, they're very different games. You know what I mean? And they're different style. But excuse me, I think Clive.
Yeah, Clive's
I think
really
I think he's the way they're telling his story, I think is very well done. And he is one of the best. No, I think he is the best Final Fantasy main character we've had.
Yeah. What I really like, Jordan, is they basically Pacific Rimmed some of the combat in this game.
Oh, there's who was it? I don't know if it may have been like ACG. I really like his reviews. I think it was him that said they took Epic and used it as a baseline.
Some of
And,
the
like
combat-
after you get past like you got to get past like the first hour or two, but like it's
Well,
just like
even in the
you
first
do
hour,
something and you're like, holy crap, and then you do something else and you're like, oh my gosh, and then you would think, how are they going to top this fight or this scene or this whatever, and then they do.
yeah. Well, and I like how, I'll talk, Jordan, we should talk off the show so we don't spoil anything, because I do want to talk about some stuff. Like some people that, the combat when they pull out we'll call them the big guns. I don't know. When they pull out the big guns and then they're just, it's, I feel like they took some inspiration from Pacific Rim and it's like,
They did. It's there. Well, the thing is everything for me at least, right? Like, I mean, if you're not a fan of the game, that's fine. Or if you're not a fan of the combat style, you prefer like the old turn-based combat, like in 10 or 8 or something like that, or even 9. That's fine. But for me, everything about this game just hits like I don't know if it's just me getting older and I'm more I don't know. But like I noticed the voice acting in a lot of games now, and this voice acting is phenomenal. Like they are really good. The way they tell their story, it's a much darker, grittier game. It's so good.
cool.
You can see they took, and they've said this. You can see that they did take inspiration from Game of Thrones, like in the way they're telling their story, and like how the kingdom currently operate. Like it's very, in my opinion, it's very well done. And as it stands right now, I haven't even beaten the game yet, but I it's my game of the year, and I don't think anything really comes close to it right now.
Yeah, there you go, David. Sorry to hijack the show a little bit,
Yeah.
but I did want to say that I'm enjoying that game.
No worries.
But hey, in 6 months, it loses its exclusivity, and maybe they'll port it to Xbox or PC, which will be really cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
All right, well, that does us this week, everybody. Thank you very much. Huge shout out to Soulfinder. He's been a member, Tier 1 Wingman for 12 months. Thank you very much and congratulations. Appreciate the support. If you'd like to support us, head over to youtube.com/XoneBros and hit that join button, hit the membership button. After each week, we do a members only. We started that last week. When we're in person together, every time we will have a members only show after. Talk about uncensored. That's uncensored. We won't be doing one today because we are remote, but we'll be back next week with that. So, and that's for everyone who's a member. It's the only way to access it. But huge thank you to everybody that supports the show. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next time. And next week we'll be live and back at our normal time in person We'll see you then. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good week.